Meghan on common ground with Denmark's Princess Marie as royal drama unfolds. From unhappiness as a royal to heated discussions regarding their children's titles, Meghan Markle and Princess Marie of Denmark appear to have a lot in common. Express.co.uk explores the similarities between the two royal women. Princess Marie of Denmark and her husband Prince Joachim appeared tearful during a recent interview with Danish publication BT. The couple were discussing the removal of their children's royal titles, a decision announced by Queen Margrethe II days earlier. From January 2023, 4 of the monarch's grandchildren, Prince Nikolai, Prince Felix, Prince Henrik and Princess Athena, will be stylized as the Count and Countess of Montpezat. According to BT, Marie and Joachim were approached by a French woman during the interview who told them their children will always be princesses in her eyes, which left the couple speechless, and they both began to cry because they were so touched. It is understood that the decision was made by the Queen in a bid to slim down the monarchy, a trend that seems to be affecting several European royal houses, including the British royal family. Now, a royal commentator has identified another similarity between the House of Glucksburg and the House of Windsor and Marie and Meghan Markle. Writing for Australian outlet 9honey this week, royal reporter Natalie O'Leary claimed Marie and Meghan now have common ground. She claimed, just like the House of Windsor in Britain, the House of Glucksburg has found itself at the center of a very unwelcome scandal. In a way, Princess Marie's choice to speak out against the family she married into is similar to how the Duchess of Sussex has handled her own unhappiness in an institution she came into in her late 30s. She continued, while Crown Princess Mary and Catherine, the Princess of Wales, have a warm working relationship, grounded in what many suspect to be a genuine friendship, it seems Princess Maria and Meghan, too, have common ground. In March 2021, Meghan expressed how unhappy she was with various aspects of royal life. A year after she and her husband Prince Harry stepped down from their roles within the royal family, the couple sat down for a tell-all interview with Oprah Winfrey. Meghan made accusations of racism and of neglect against unspecified members of the firm, casting a negative light on the UK-based royals. Perhaps most notably, the Duchess claimed a member of the royal family questioned her son Archie's skin color before he was born. Later in the conversation, she talked about her sister-in-law Kate, Princess of Wales, and addressed a previous story about an altercation between the two of them. It had been claimed that Meghan made Kate break down in tears during a bridesmaid's dress fitting ahead of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's wedding. However, Meghan alleged it was in fact the other way round, that the then Duchess of Cambridge made her cry. Similarly, when discussing the Danish Queen's title call, Princess Marie referenced her sister-in-law, Crown Princess Mary. Just days after Marguerite's announcement, Marie and Joachim were approached by a reporter outside their apartment. When asked about their relationship with members of their family, namely Marguerite, Mary and Joachim's brother, Crown Prince Frederick, the couple did not give much away. Marie said, "It's complicated, namely. That's it." But the princess did reveal that her daughter, Princess Athena, had been bullied at school after the decision to take her title away was declared. According to Danish royal commentators, this was an attack on the crown princess, who has been advocating against bullying through her work with the Mary Foundation. BT journalist Jacob Hill-Jensen suggested the comments had been carefully chosen. He claimed, "I cannot interpret it as anything other than an attack on Crown Princess Mary, it was a direct message." Marie has had several days to think about what she wanted to say after it emerged that the titles had been taken from the children. So it is probably carefully selected. It is clear that when she takes something as bullying and deliberately uses the expression children's conditions, it cannot be interpreted differently than that she wants to draw attention to the fact that the royal house, and therefore the crown princess, must be aware of what is for some values that you stand for on the outside. Like Kate, Mary has not said anything publicly about her sister-in-law, and she took a diplomatic approach when asked about the family situation. During an official engagement last month, she said, "Change can be difficult and can really hurt, but this does not mean that the decision is not the right one," adding she and Frederick would look at our own children's titles when the time comes. Mary and Frederick have 4 children, Prince Christian, Princess Isabella, and twins Prince Vincent and Princess Josephine, whose titles were not affected by Marguerite's decision. The focus has now shifted to the family of 6, with emphasis being placed on the future of the monarchy. It harks back to Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee celebrations, when the late monarch drew attention to the future of the British monarchy by standing alongside her 3 heirs, then Prince Charles, Prince William and Prince George, and their families at the end of the 4-day weekend. Interestingly, shortly before Marguerite made her announcement, she celebrated her own jubilee, marking 50 years on the throne. It was this focus on the then Cambridges that Meghan reportedly struggled with, not understanding that despite her and Harry's success, the hierarchy of the royal family remained the most important factor. So, perhaps contributed to by their ranking within the firm. In 2020, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex relinquished their royal duties and moved abroad, something that Maria and Joachim did 1 year earlier. In 2019, the Prince and Princess moved to France, where Joachim later began a diplomatic post at the Danish embassy in Paris. Marie became a special representative at the culture department. Their roles within the royal family have been cut back in recent years, with Joachim acknowledging he now had greater freedom to pursue his own interests in early 2022. However, unlike the Sussexes, Marie suggested that the decision to move was not theirs, saying she viewed it as a winding down of her family's role in the monarchy. Speaking to BT, she insisted that they still had an active role in the royal house, but admitted that they had prepared their children to be independent as they will not get appanage, financial support, concluding, "But it is something else to take away a name." something that Marie and Joachim did 1 year earlier. In 2019, the prince and princess moved to France, where Joachim later began a diplomatic post at the Danish embassy in Paris. Marie became a special representative at the culture department. Their roles within the royal family have been cut back in recent years, with Joachim acknowledging he now had greater freedom to pursue his own interests in early 2022. However, unlike the Sussexes, Marie suggested that the decision to move was not theirs, saying she viewed it as a winding down of her family's role in the monarchy. Speaking to BT, she insisted that they still had an active role in the royal house, but admitted that they had prepared their children to be independent as they will not get appanage, financial support, concluding, "But it is something else to take away a name.